Hi YouTube, it's Liberty for All here with another video. This time it is about school bus drivers who have unfortunately had to quit because they didn't want to get, guess what, the jab. Here's the story. I'll be back.
Jessica Legg has a problem with Governor Inslee's mandate,
It feels like a threat.
which is why she joined dozens of her fellow bus drivers for the Bethel School District to push back.
Yes.
And while the district may not be able to afford to lose any more drivers, Jessica says drivers are willing to walk away to make their point.
We're already short-staffed. We're also hiring. And we might be hiring even more after the 18th. So,
Have you heard a lot of drivers saying that
yes, there are a lot of drivers who are saying that they do not want this vaccine, and if it's their job, they are ready to walk.
A major concern among Jessica's colleagues is vaccine hesitancy, an issue that Pierce County's health department is struggling to address, with just over half of the population fully vaccinated. Despite the FDA fully approving the Pfizer vaccine, Jessica says it hasn't been out long enough to make it a job requirement compared to other vaccinations.
Those have had years and years and years of clinical trials and testing. And this one, unfortunately, has not. So for me, on my side of it, I would prefer to wait until, the clinical trials are over.
But Jessica says at this point,
That's not okay.
it's not about the vaccine itself, it's the enforcement.
I think after further testing, people would be maybe a little bit more compliant if there wasn't a mandate and they weren't being forced.
But it's
Definitely.
the whole being told you have to take this step.
So yeah, for the force of it, and then at the risk of losing your job. Like, that's so far of a reach or of a stretch in the wrong direction, and it's just not the way that, that's not how you get things done. If people want to get the vaccine, I'm totally fine with that. Everybody has a right to choose, and that's the biggest thing. You have the right to choose.
Now, the Bethel School District Transportation reached out to me and they said that this mandate isn't coming from the district, it's coming from the state, and they're just working to make sure the district meets the state's expectations. But they also said that as cases rise in Pierce County, that everyone should be getting vaccinated. For now, we're live in Frederickson. Lionel Donovan, King 5 News.
Tomorrow is the first day of classes for Chicago Public Schools. For many students, this will be their first time back in the classroom since the pandemic began. And tonight, some parents are still trying to figure out how to get their students to school. The district, like many others, is facing a school bus driver shortage. Last week, 10% of drivers quit, with 73 resignations submitted on Friday alone. Bus companies say this is due to COVID vaccination requirements. The district says the shortage means 2,100 students will not be offered transportation. So, to help impacted families, CPS is offering transportation stipends, $1,000 for the first 2 weeks of school and $500 for the following months. A statement issued this afternoon reads in part, "We are saddened and extremely frustrated by this situation, and we express our sincerest apologies to the impacted families for the inconvenience this has caused, especially with such short notice." The district says it has also adjusted pickup times. So parents, if your child is still riding the bus, their pickup will be 15 to 30 minutes earlier than prior years. Letters were sent to parents last week with specifics for their children.
Hey guys, I'm back. So yeah, what do you think of that? I do want to preface and say I feel really badly for the students now that don't have a way of getting to school because of the foolishness that's going on. But I also want to say I'm not surprised, and more of this is going to just continue to happen. The more and more that they set up these mandates, people are not going to be happy about it, and they're going to they're going to leave. And I love the YouTube and Facebook comments where people will say, well, if you don't like what you're doing so much, or if you don't like what is being mandated or forced, well then just quit your job, right? That's the cancel culture that we have here now in 2021 and beyond. And it's really fascinating just how quickly people can tell you, well, hey, if you don't like it, if you don't want to comply, you know, then you need to be fired or quit. And you know what? Kudos to these bus drivers because they did just that. I don't blame them. Okay. Again, it's unfortunate for the kids. It really is. But what people need to understand is you cannot force someone into submission to do anything. Okay. And now this particular district is having to scramble and find people to fill these positions because, as usual, people don't want their rights to be trumped on, okay? They don't want their rights to be trumped on. They don't want to be forced into submission to do anything. You know who they could possibly hire as a bus driver to take these kids since he's, fully vaccinated and he's 100% safe? Dr. Fauci. We should get him to do that, right? Is he available? No? Oh, okay. Well, good luck finding a slew of at least 90 people that are ready, willing, and trained to drive these kids on a school bus, right? That's another thing. You have to be licensed to drive this type of a specific vehicle. I want to see how quickly they're going to find people that are licensed to drive an actual school bus, pass background checks. Oh, and are fully vaccinated to take these kids, right? It's a shame. It really is. But I'm going to keep on highlighting to show that not everyone is a sheep. Not everyone is just going to be forced into submission and to comply. And these bus drivers took it upon themselves to quit, and hopefully they can find something else that's even more worthy and deserving than just being a bus driver. I mean, things happen for a specific reason. Hopefully, the universe has something else better in store for them and they can just put this past them because I don't blame them. All right. They don't work in the medical field or profession. And even in those cases, those people should also have a choice, but they're freaking bus drivers. Okay. These kids are going to be 6 feet away from them, right? Why should they be forced? So that's the story, guys. I'm not going to make this a long-winded one, but I just wanted to just show you that this is going to continue to happen. It's unfortunate for the kids that now have to figure out how they're going to get to school. The district is going to have to hire more people, and why? Like, why? What is it going to take for them to realize that not everyone is going to just do this, and it's going to just cause more problems in the end as far as having to fill gaps and everything else when it could all just be avoided, when you could just give people what? The freedom of their choice. So that's the video, guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.